Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I want to do a quick video today about Cardano and the Midnight Sidechain. Now, it's upcoming, it's a project that they talked about, and it's one that I think we should all keep our eye on. It's definitely going to help with the overall growth of the Cardano project, but I think this could be a special project as well. So let's get into Midnight and the sidechain of Cardano. Before we do that, let's take a look like we always do. Let's take a look at the coin market cap, see where Cardano sits, see what type of activity is going on with the chain. Currently, we see that it sits at number 8, 29 cents, market cap of 10 billion, 24-hour volumes about 192,000, circulating supply 35 billion. Let's take a deeper dive into some of this here and just look at the price action for today. We see that we did hit 30 cents right here, but now we're down under 29 cents. In my opinion, Cardano 30 cents and under is going to be a great deal, especially because we know where this thing is going to go. 2025 is one thing, one step, but they're going to keep developing, and come 2029, 2030, sky's the limit for Cardano. But we see that total supply is about 36 billion ADA and max supply is 45 billion. Currently, 77.8% of ADA is out there and circulating. So, there's still some to come out, but it's going to be unlocked over time. So the tokenomics, I still believe in ADA. I think it's pretty good. So now let's take a look at TVL, see what's going on with that. The earlier video I made, I talked about how ADA was outside of the top 20, and now they made it into the 20s. Currently, at the time of this video, they sit at 13. So they sit at 13 with over 179 million in TVL. And if we see what's driving this number here, the 179.9 million, the main DEX is going to be MinSwap. MinSwap has over 48 million. And then the next one we have is Indigo, Liquid, Vi Finance, DJet stablecoin with 12.4 million, and MuliSwap. It's another DEX, a smaller DEX of 10 million. So they're coming up on DeFi. They're still working on it. That used to be their Achilles heel, but now things are on the up and up. And it wouldn't surprise me to see Cardano in the top 10 within this year, early next year. But let's monitor this, and we're going to keep monitoring it to see where we're at. But TVL is coming up, and that's very positive for Cardano. Staking's always been one of the strong points for Cardano. Strong community. People are staking, helping secure this network and earning rather. From Cardano as well, and that's always a good thing. So currently 62.4% of Cardano is staked. Solana is the only L1, Solana and ETH are actually the only L1s that rank higher as far as staking rewards go. So Cardano is very positive there. Now let's get into some slight, not the greatest news, but I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. If I see some on-chain data, we're gonna talk about it. We can't hide from it. But if we look at the total daily active addresses, and if we look at Avalanche, Cardano, Ethereum, and Solana, comparing it to its L1 peers, it's the lowest as far as daily active addresses right now. And if you look at this number here, you see Solana's at 239. Well, let's go to something more recent. So let's look at August. All right, boom. August 9th. So ETH's at 362,000, Solana's at 274,000, Avalanche is at 72,000, and Cardano's at 41,000. Now, looking at last month, Cardano was in the low 50s, 50, 51,000, and now it's going down to 49,000. So this is concerning, especially when you see this peers doing, having higher numbers. But again, right now, Cardano is not that sexy, except for the long believers, the strong believers like you and I. A lot of people are just flocking to the hot names and what's popping right now. Right now, Ethereum obviously is always going to be the big dog, but Solana and their NFTs right now is they have some momentum. Avalanche also, people are talking about them, but do not sleep on Cardano. Don't let these low numbers fool you. There's still people believing in Cardano. They're still working. We have side chains coming. You have Hydra coming, and we're going to talk about Midnight, the side chain, later on in this video, but things are still happening behind the scenes. So don't give up. Cardano has real world use case, and sky's the limit. So right now, it's low. If anything, people aren't interested at the moment like there will be during the bull cycle. Just stack your bags. Right now is a good opportunity when no one's really paying attention to Cardano. It's a low price. This is the time you probably want to get into it. Now, if we look at daily transactions as well, we see that Cardano is sits at the lowest as well. But again, that's what it is. Now let's take a look at Midnight Sidechain. So I would say earlier this year, I talked about Oasis and the Rose Network, and it's basically their utility or their claim to fame would be privacy. Protecting data that people don't want to share, financial information, medical information, especially if you want corporate entities or people higher up wanting to use the blockchain and wanting to get into Web3, you want something that'll protect your information. And so that's what Oasis Rose Network was mainly all about. Now, Cardano has a side chain, and the side chain will still be secured by the Cardano network, but it's a side chain independent. They do their own thing called Midnight. And Midnight basically is the same thing. It's selective as far as, what data it can share. If you want it to be protected, it can be. And also they're working with, the frameworks within regulation so that they're not scrutinized. Because we all know with Tornado Cash, what happened with that, and, privacy and basically OFAC got involved and it wasn't good. They're working within the guardrails to make sure that they're compliant, but also protecting people's identity. And I think this is a strong use case. When you have big corporations, you have, let's say Johnson & Johnson or, Eli Lilly, one of these big medical companies, they want to get in, they want to protect patients' information, but they want the blockchain in order to secure the information and make sure it's accurate. What better use case? And I think Midnight and what better L1 to be on, Cardano is a match made in heaven. They're going to have a token called Dust once it does launch. So Midnight has not launched yet as an independent sidechain. But once it does, they're going to have a coin called Dust. And this is one that I'm very, very interested in. So it's in the works right now. Midnight has not launched, but it's something that we should all pay attention to. So according to Masari, it says Cardano's up and coming data protection focused sidechain. It's called Midnight. By leveraging zero-knowledge cryptography, Midnight aims to bridge the principles of DeFi with the requirements of TradeFi. It would enable users to have selective data disclosure while meeting regulatory needs. They will also be able to choose which data they wish to reveal publicly or keep private. So that is good. And Midnight will also have its own token called Dust. So Cardano, we talked about the side chains coming up, Hydra, all these good things happening. They have a growing NFT marketplace and NFTs coming on board. DeFi, we just talked about, is growing. Strong staking community. So the Achilles heel right now is that there's not too much activity going on when you compare it to its peers. Am I worried? No. Should you be worried? No. Right now, this is the time to stack. If you're into Cardano, if you're not, take a look at the project. Don't listen to what other people are saying. Do your own research. And if you like it, don't listen to what everybody else is saying. Definitely. Some of the most famous investors, most successful investors, when everybody was going right, they were going left. So you always do your own research. And if it's something that appeals to you, this is probably something you should get into. So I saw this interesting thing on Twitter about why Cardano is well positioned for the next bull run. And they list some highlights here. And the first one is decentralization and governance. The centralized governance model encourages community participation. This helps to foster innovation and alignment with users' needs, something that's essential for long-term growth. Next point is sustainability and scalability. With Ouroboros, Cardano's proof-of-stake consensus algorithm, the Platinum's energy efficiency and scalability puts it ahead of its competitors. As the world shifts towards greener tech, this is a huge advantage. So not proof of work. A lot of chains now, a lot of protocols, they're going proof of stake anyway. But it's something to talk about. It's a tick. Academic backing. So this is one of the things that a lot of people say is Cardano's not fast enough. Look at all these other chains. They're growing. They're already pushing things through. But Cardano and IOHK, they're taking things slowly and making sure that it's scientific research and backed and make sure they do it right the first time and only time. Cardano's research-driven approach, peer-reviewed papers, and partnerships with universities reinforce its commitment to solid engineering and theoretical foundations. This paves the way for robust and reliable technology. Next is smart contracts and DeFi. The Alonzo upgrade has brought smart contracts to Cardano, enabling decentralized or DeFi applications. This is opening up a new use case and markets that were previously untapped. Hence, we have Cody, DJED, and we see that TVL is rising. So that's another thing. Global outreach and partnerships. In my other video, we talked about Cardano's influence in Ethiopia and how a lot of them are unbanked. And if you don't have banking, sometimes you can't go to school as far as universities. If you don't have identity, you can't do any of that. And Cardano's helping with that. Real use case, especially in the continent of Africa. With initiatives in developing countries like in Ethiopia, Cardano is positioning itself as a leader in blockchain-based solutions for real-world problems. These partnerships create genuine use cases and demand. Then we have regulatory compliance. And we talked about Midnight, how, as far as data privacy, they're trying to make sure they're within the guardrails of that. Cardano's focus on interoperability and compliance with future regulatory frameworks shows foresight and position it well in an increasing regulated crypto environment. Here in the US, we all know about Gary Gensler and the SEC and what they're doing to crypto right now. But it's not only the US. In Canada, there's some regulations going on. In other parts of the country, there's stuff going on. So you want to make sure that you're compliant and so that you don't have a bullseye on your project. And Cardano's doing that. Strong development team. We have IOHK and Charles Hoskinson. I mean, this guy is always either on YouTube, on social media. He's speaking to a crowd. He's trying to bring broad adoption into crypto. He's one of the good people in the space. And basically, they're innovating and they're always working. And that's what it's all about. Now we have NFTs and dApps. My last video, I showed the ecosystem is just growing with NFTs, gaming, DeFi, wallet integration, you name it. If any other L1 out there, it can compete as far as ecosystems go. So they're growing and it's a good thing. And staking rewards, we already talked about that. They're in the top 3 as far as L1s go. I believe Cardano's future is bright, and I believe, I think you should too. But if you don't believe me, take a look at the white paper, go on the internet, do your own research, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So guys, I hope you liked the video. It's been nice chatting with you. If you like it, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my content, subscribe to the channel. Until later, be safe. Bye.